Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cook to Flourish kitchen. This is Robin Cook and it is a joy to have you with me here today. So today's menu was inspired by a recent trip that I had into Aldi's actually. And so I wanted to bring to you a few different recipe ideas that you can make in your own kitchen using ingredients from Aldi's. So how great is that? It's convenient and it's healthy and it's going to be delicious. So we're going to make a few recipes together here today. So the first thing is we're going to start with one of the recipes that would take the longest to make. So we're going to do a roasted vegetable medley featuring a butternut squash, some sweet potato, some red onion, and one of my favorite Brussels sprouts. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start to trim this butternut squash here. And we're not going to use all of it because we're going to be using the rest of the butternut squash for another recipe here in a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. All right, now we are going to peel our butternut squash. If you use an organic butternut squash, you can actually eat the skin. But today, since this one is not organic, I'm going to go ahead and peel it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, I love butternut squash because, of course, it is sweet and it comes from the squash family, so it doesn't have as many carbs as a sweet potato does. Usually they have about half the amount of carbs as a sweet potato. So we're just peeling here. Now, of course, some stores, they offer already peeled butternut squash, so you could do that as well, but I like to buy them fresh and peel it myself. Okay, so I'm going to scoop those peelings aside. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're just getting most of the peeling off of it. So now I'm just going to cut our butternut squash into little cubes. So that way they're going to cook fairly quickly. And I would love to hear a comment like how you enjoy butternut squash, if you've ever tried it before. Fall is the best time to try your winter squashes. Now, of course, you could also do acorn squash if you would rather, but butternut squash is going to be amazing in this dish. So we have just now cut our butternut squash into little cubes. So they're about, an inch or so. All right, so we have those in our baking dish, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a sweet potato here. So we are going to get some extra sweetness from our sweet potato. Now, if you wanted to just do butternut, leave out the sweet potato, you totally could. So we're just going to chop these little guys up in about the same size as the butternut squash. Now, sweet potatoes, they benefit us with great amounts of fiber. And fiber is going to help us stay fuller for longer. So that is going to be excellent, whether it's for dinner or for lunch that you're having your sweet potato. That fiber is going to help that meal stay with you for longer, so you won't be as hungry as in between meals. All right, next our little Brussels sprouts here. So I just love Brussels sprouts. They are so good. So we're just going to cut them in half this time. Now, if you don't have a lot of time, you could actually cut these vegetables a little bit smaller and it will cook for you quicker. So just keep that in mind. At this size here, we're going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. So just go ahead and preheat your oven for that. Then we're also going to do some red onion. So I just love the red onion and the color that it's going to add to this dish. But if you prefer a white or a yellow onion, you could definitely do that instead. Now, onions are amazing for our immune system. And at the time of this filming here, it's fall, the weather's getting cooler. And so we know that this is the time of year that we need to take extra good care of our immune system. So by adding in some onion, that is going to be helpful. Now, this here is a little bit of a small pan, so you would want to get a bigger pan. So this just gives you an idea though. And now to this, we're going to add some avocado oil. Love the avocado oil. I usually do about a tablespoon, maybe two, not too much oil, but enough to toss them and get them all a little bit oily so that way the seasonings can stick to it. So now to this, super simple, a little bit of pepper. Here, there we go. and a little bit of sea salt. And then you can also do some garlic powder or garlic granules. And we're just gonna kind of get that all nice and happy there. You can use your hands if you don't mind getting your hands a little bit oily. And you're gonna pop this into the oven, 375 degrees, because our avocado oil that we just used, it can take a hotter heat. Olive oil, you don't really want to cook with that above 325, 350 at the max. I try to avoid cooking with olive oil personally, and instead I do the avocado oil. So it can take to 400 degrees at least. So 375, put this in the oven in a little bit larger baking dish, and then you're gonna put that in there for about 25 to 30, maybe even 35 minutes if you like them a little bit golden brown. And then you can take them out and enjoy. This side dish would be amazing with some baked chicken. It would be amazing with salmon. It would be amazing even on top of a kale salad later the next day. So roasted vegetables, they even work well for leftovers. That's one of my favorite things in the fall, is to take leftover roasted vegetables so you get that hearty, soft, nice and nourishing vegetable on top of a raw salad. So I personally love that. So hopefully you will enjoy that too. Okay, so now for our next dish. So I'm going to scoot these peelings aside here. And our next dish that we're gonna make, it also would take a little bit longer of a time since we're gonna bake it, and we're gonna be using some more of our butternut squash. So I like to try to make use of all of the vegetable here. And so what we're gonna do is we're going to carefully cut our butternut squash, and I call this part the bowl, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop out those seeds here, and I'm gonna get my little garbage bowl here and put our seeds into the bowl. Now, you can do many different things with butternut squash, but for this, I thought it would be fun to stuff it. What do you think about that? So, perhaps you have never stuffed a squash before, but they're quite fun, especially like if you like bread bowls. It's neat to use a squash bowl instead of a bread bowl. So what we're gonna do is, once you have scooped out all of the seeds, you could use a spoon or you can use your hands. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this cut side down into a glass baking dish in the oven, 375 degrees, 400 degrees, anywhere in there, cut side down in a glass baking dish. So I have one right here. So we're gonna put him cut side down into the oven, and he's gonna take 35 to 45 minutes. And then he should be kind of golden brown, maybe a little bit of bubbling, and then we can plop him back on top, and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna stuff it with, okay? So pretend that those are in the oven. I'm gonna set this bowl aside and wipe off my hands and show you what we can do for the stuffing. So we already have some red onion out, and so we're going to just mince up some onion. So some little pieces of onion, and again, it's fall. The onion is gonna be great for our immune system, and I just love the color and the flavor of the red onion. So we get little pieces of this diced or minced, and then we're going to add to it a little bit of Brussels sprouts, and we are going to do like shredded Brussels sprouts this time. So little slices here. Now, if you are thinking, oh no, I am not gonna put Brussels sprouts into this dish, no worries, you can leave them out. No stress at all. This is just an idea for you to use. So we have just a little bit of the Brussels sprouts rather, and then I'm also going to use some mushrooms. So we are going to just peel one of these mushrooms here and do the same as we did with the onion, just a little bit of mincing and dicing. So this is going to give us a little bit of protein and some minerals. Very good. And again, if you're not a fan of mushrooms, you can omit them if you would like. Alrighty. You could also do baby Bella mushrooms. These here are the white button mushrooms, but either one would work just fine. Okay, so we have our mushroom, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of organic celery. I love that Aldi's is now carrying organic celery because celery is one of the foods that is on the EWG's Dirty Dozen list. And so that means that those are the 12 foods that you wanna prioritize to purchase organic. And so this here is our organic celery. So I'm going to focus on the part of the celery that has the leaves. So that can be good for soups and also for stuffing things. And so I'm going to just do little bitty pieces of our organic celery. And celery is a wonderful cleansing food, so gotta love that. And it also has good sodium, natural sodium. In fact, one time I was telling my natural doctor, I was like, man, my knees pop a lot, my ankles pop a lot. She's like, you should eat more celery because it has good sodium in it. So that does help with the joints. So we're going to just saute each of these together into a healthy saute pan, like a green pan or Ecolution brand pan. We're gonna saute that in a little bit of our handy dandy avocado oil. We're gonna saute that together with a little bit of pepper and salt. Saute that together until it's nice and softened. And then we're gonna add that into our cooked butternut squash bowl. And then after that, if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of the goat cheese from Aldi's on top, or maybe some chopped almonds or walnuts. Put that into your butternut squash bowl and bake it again for another 10 to 15 minutes and let it all meld together, all those flavors. Wouldn't that be delicious? So that is our second recipe idea. So I'm gonna scoot these aside here. That would be another fun recipe to do, like instead of a traditional stuffing at Thanksgiving or Christmas. So I hope that you really enjoy that. The next one that we're gonna do is we're gonna make a kale salad. So I love kale salad. How about you? So we're going to do a nice big measuring cup here. And then Aldi's also has organic kale that's already sliced. How nice is that? So we're gonna do a few big handfuls of kale, about 4 cups worth, okay? So we have 4 cups of our kale. And now what I'm gonna do for our dressing is I'm gonna do some orange. Now this here is not an organic orange, but if you did use an organic orange, you could even do a little bit of the zest and add that into there, which would give you even extra antioxidants. But for right now, we're just going to do this regular maple orange, and we're gonna do some of the juice. So I am juicing it here. I love using orange juice in salad dressings. So this is gonna be a fun way to add nice flavor to our kale salad that's going to be naturally sweet, and it's gonna be rich in vitamin C, which is amazing for our immune system, again, especially this fall and winter time of year. So I'm going to do a 1/4 cup, which we need a little bit more. Isn't that just a beautiful color? Oh my goodness, it's gonna be delicious. So we're gonna do a little bit more of our orange juice, and then we're gonna add some of the organic olive oil to that, and we're going to massage that together with our kale. So that should just about do it. I'm gonna put our juice here. Boxed orange juice just doesn't taste the same, at least to me. So if you can do the freshly squeezed, you're gonna taste the difference for sure. And then we're gonna do our olive oil here. So I am going to do 2 tablespoons or 1/8 cup, same thing. So we're gonna put that in here. The oil is going to help wilt the kale. So this is a really nice way to enjoy kale. It's still raw, but it's going to have more of the texture of cooked kale, but with still all the health benefits of the raw. So we're just gonna get our hands a little bit oily here again. It's fun. And just add in that elbow grease, get that kale all massaged. I am just amazed at all of the nutritional value in kale salad. It is amazing. Kale, it has vitamin K and vitamin C and so many different minerals. It is an incredible superfood. All right, so that is about reduced by half. So that's what you want to do with your kale salad, is you want to massage it until it's reduced in about half of its size. And then we're going to add some nice tasty other vegetables to it. So I have some carrots that I've already washed, and we like, oh, I'm gonna wipe my hands off, that would be good. All right, don't wanna get that in there. And so we're gonna take a vegetable peeler, and we're just going to make carrot ribbons. Just like that, super easy. But it just adds a new, different dimension to this salad. And I love how carrots are so good for our eyes. And the beta carotene that's in carrots, it is better utilized in the body when it has healthy fats. And of course, we are using our olive oil, which is giving us wonderful healthy fats in this salad. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? And the ribbons just make it fun too. But of course you could shred the carrot, that would be just fine. I'm gonna do one more. All right. And sometimes Aldi's has the rainbow baby carrots. So if you didn't want to do a regular orange carrot, you could slice or you could shred the baby rainbow carrots into this salad. That would be beautiful as well. So once we have a good cup or more of our carrots, we are gonna go on to our next vegetable. So we're going to do a little bit of our organic celery, again using our celery. So that's gonna be great for fall as well. We think of like a Waldorf salad that has like apples and raisins and celery. This is kind of a spin-off of that, but with a kale salad. All right, so we have our little celery half moons here. Just add those. It's gonna give us some nice crunch. And again, that good, healthy, natural sodium. Beautiful. And then if you like red onion, you can also do a few little thin slices of red onion in there. And when you eat the onion raw, the raw onion has a prebiotic fiber that is going to be good for the good bacteria in your gut. So a little extra layer of health in there with gut health support. And then pomegranate. I love pomegranates. They are delicious. So we're going to do some pomegranates. And if you have a white shirt on, you might want to put an apron on because they can be a little bit messy. So we're going to pry into this gorgeous ruby red pomegranate here. And we're gonna use the arils and put them into our salad. I like to call them jewels instead of arils. I just think jewels are more fitting. Isn't that beautiful? So pomegranates, they also have amazing antioxidants. They have vitamin C. Isn't that gorgeous? So we're just gonna put some of these here into our salad. And it's gonna give us a little bit of crunch, a little bit of sweetness, amazing antioxidants. And it's just going to be gorgeous. This is really a rainbow salad because we have our green, we have our orange, we have our purple, we have our red, we have light green. It is amazing. And then to top it all off, we can do some pumpkin seeds or we could even do some avocado just for one extra dimension of crunch and flavor. So there we are, my friends. We have our roasted vegetables, we have our butternut squash, and we have a beautiful kale salad. There are many other combinations that you could do, but we're just gonna finish with these three today. I hope that you greatly enjoy these recipes. God bless you, and we'll see you next time in the Cook to Flourish kitchen.